My love, there is one sentence, and when a man says it to you, it can completely shift the dynamic between you. By the end of this talk, I will reveal exactly what that sentence is and why it holds the power to turn a man who was merely hovering around you into someone who is fully drawn to you. But before we get to that, you need to understand something fundamental that will completely change the way you see and handle relationships from this point forward. I will speak to you directly without softening anything. At my age, I have no time to make truth sound comfortable. Here is your first practical lesson for today. If a man shows interest in you but never truly chooses you, then you should not choose him either. It really is that straightforward. Keep that in your heart. That is not a lack of self-love. It is pure emotional intelligence. And if you stay with me for a few more minutes, you will not only learn what men actually say when they are genuinely interested, but also how to recognize in real time whether they see you as a priority or simply another option. And before we go any further, if what I have said so far has connected with you even a little, leave a comment below and tell me where you are watching from, whether it is Mexico, Colombia, Spain, or anywhere else in the world where women are done settling for scraps. And if you know someone, a friend, a sister, a colleague, who needs to hear this, share this with her. What we are discussing today is not just for you. It is for all of us, reclaiming our personal power. Let me share something that has become absolutely clear to me after more than 40 years of working with people, listening to countless stories, and witnessing emotional highs and lows. Women are incredibly intelligent when it comes to solving difficult problems, planning ahead, and reading between the lines. But when it comes to understanding the signals of a man they are drawn to, this intelligence often seems to vanish. Do you know why? Because something called confirmation bias takes over. In simple terms, you see what you want to see. When you like a man, your mind desperately searches for even the tiniest signs that he feels the same. A text at 11 p.m. suddenly feels like a declaration of love. A brief glance becomes a deep cosmic connection. A casual "we will talk later" sounds like a promise of a shared future. My love, that is not intuition. That is self-deception in a beautiful disguise. I am not telling you this to discourage you. I am saying it so you can wake up from the illusion. If you want healthy, mature relationships where you do not have to beg for attention or plead for clarity, then here is the uncomfortable truth that very few people will say to you. A man who is genuinely interested in you does not make you guess. He does not keep you waiting until he feels like reaching out. He does not appear and disappear like a ghost in the night. A man who truly wants you is clear, consistent, and makes you feel chosen, not lucky that he remembered to text. And this is not just romantic advice. It is biology. When a man is emotionally invested in you, his brain releases oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, a chemical storm that naturally compels him to seek you out, spend time with you, and invest energy into your connection. He does not need reminders or to be chased. His nervous system pulls him toward you. That is how desire functions biologically. So, if you find yourself always reminding him you exist, always starting conversations, always working hard to hold his attention, let me gently say this to you. He is not genuinely interested. He is bored. He is available for distraction, but he is not choosing you. And you deserve so much more than to be someone's backup option. However, that does not mean you should act like a frozen statue and wait for men to come to you. It is not about playing games or using manipulative tricks you read about online. It is about something far deeper, far more powerful. It is about choosing yourself first. When you choose yourself, when you decide that your time, energy, and self-respect are not negotiable, your energy shifts completely. And I do not mean vibes or some abstract law of attraction. I mean something very concrete. When you value yourself, you radiate confidence, And confidence, my dear reader, is the greatest form of attraction there is, far stronger than any expensive perfume or revealing outfit. A man can sense when a woman knows her worth, knows what she wants, and knows what she will not tolerate. And trust me, that moves him in the most delightful way. I have seen it thousands of times in my sessions. A woman comes to me devastated because the man she has been texting for months suddenly goes silent. She questions herself endlessly. What did I do wrong? What should I have said? How could I have stopped him from pulling away? And then, at some point, she lets go. She stops pursuing someone who does not appreciate her and begins focusing on herself, her goals, her life, and often that very same man reappears. But here is the twist. By then, she is no longer interested in letting go. She has found something far more valuable: her own power. A woman who knows her power will accept nothing less than what she truly deserves. That is real transformation. It is not about getting a man. It is about becoming a woman who only accepts men who rise to meet her. And once you reach that point, everything shifts. But let us return to the practical side, because I know you are listening and thinking, yes, that all sounds wonderful, but I want to know what men actually say, do, and how they behave when they are genuinely interested. That is exactly what we will break down now. And if what you have heard so far has opened your eyes even slightly, give this a like and subscribe to the channel, because we share honest, direct content like this every single week. You will not want to miss a thing. So what does a man say when he is truly interested? Here is the first clue, often overlooked. A man who is genuinely interested talks about the future. He uses words that include both of you. He discusses plans and things he wants to experience with you. He does not promise castles in the air or trips he cannot afford, but he weaves you into his vision of life. He might say things like, "Next weekend, when we go there, we could," or "I want you to meet this person." These small statements carry weight. They show he is bringing you into his world. This matters deeply because men who are simply passing through never speak about the future. They remain in a vague, comfortable present. "We will see," or "maybe later," are warning signs. A man who takes you seriously does not keep you in limbo. Next, a man who is genuinely interested asks questions, not just polite ones like, "How was your day?" but real questions about your story, your dreams, your fears, and what makes you laugh or frustrates you. And the most important part, he remembers what you share with him. Here lies the true difference. Any man can ask questions to be polite or to fill silence. But a man who genuinely cares remembers your answers. If you told him 2 weeks ago about an important meeting, he will ask how it went. If you mentioned a favorite style of music, he will send you songs in that style. If you shared something that has been troubling you, he will check in later to see how you are feeling. That, my dear, is true interest. That is a man who actively stores emotional details about you because you matter to him. The gap between a man who is genuinely interested and someone who is simply passing time is enormous. And now, let us talk about something that confuses many women: communication. There is a common belief that men do not enjoy talking, that they are naturally reserved. And yes, to some degree, it is true that many men are not as verbally expressive as women. But here is the truth. When a man truly cares or is genuinely drawn to someone, he finds the words. He may not write you poetry or deliver long emotional speeches, but he expresses how he feels. He tells you he likes you, that he enjoys being with you, that you cross his mind. He does not leave you guessing for months about whether he is interested in you or if you are just a friend with potential confusion attached. A man who genuinely wants you in his life makes it known. And if he does not, it is either because he is uncertain or because he does not want anything serious. And in both cases, your response is the same. Move forward. Another thing men do when they are truly interested, and this is a very telling sign, is they introduce you to their close circle. They bring you to meet their friends, include you in social gatherings, and speak about you to the important people in their life. Why? Because often unconsciously they want their choice to be confirmed. Men seek approval from their world for the woman they care about. It is part of their bonding process. So, if you have been seeing a man for months and you are still a secret, if you do not know anyone in his circle, if his social media shows him alone or with friends but never with you, that communicates something very clear. It is not about being private or shy. It simply means he does not see you as an essential part of his life. You can make excuses, rationalize, or invent explanations, but the truth remains. Accepting it early allows you to make decisions that protect your heart. Since we are talking about signals, let us discuss something many women misread. Intensity at the beginning. You meet a man and everything feels like a whirlwind. He texts constantly, compliments you endlessly, wants to see you all the time, makes you feel extraordinary. You get swept away because after a long stretch of emotional emptiness or lukewarm relationships, it feels incredible. But here is the reality. That intensity is often not love. It is fear, a chemical rush from something new. And when the rush fades, he pulls back or becomes distant. This happens because some men do not fall in love with the person. They fall in love with the feeling of being in love. They enjoy the chase, the excitement of new beginnings. But when it comes to real-life commitment and building something lasting, they lose interest. My advice, be cautious of sudden, overwhelming attention. A mature man, one who truly knows what he wants, builds interest gradually. He is steady and dependable, not a firework that burns bright for 2 weeks and then fades. He is a flame that burns steadily. Now, something you should hold deeply in your mind. It will protect you from a great deal of heartache. Pay close attention to how a man treats you once he no longer feels the need to impress you. After the courting phase, when he is no longer in pursuit mode, that is when you see who he really is. Does he still treat you with respect? Does he include you in decisions? Does he make you feel valued? Or does he become careless, selfish, indifferent? I have witnessed this 1,000 times. Most men can show their finest side during the chase. But the man who truly belongs with you is the one who treats you well when he no longer has anything to prove. That is the man worth your time. The one who treats you with love not to win you, but because he genuinely values you. And since we are on the topic of appreciation, let us address a common question. How do you know if a man respects you? Respect is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Without it, nothing survives. You can have chemistry, passion, and attraction, but without respect, a relationship is either doomed or will become emotionally damaging. Respect is demonstrated through actions. A man who respects you listens even when he disagrees. He does not interrupt, mock, or belittle you simply because your views differ. He values your time. He does not cancel plans at the last moment without reason, arrive late consistently, or make you wait hours for a response while clearly being online. He protects your reputation. He does not speak poorly of you or share private matters. He honors your limits. If something troubles you, he acknowledges it. He does not emotionally manipulate you to get what he wants. A man who respects you stands beside you. He does not leave you alone when someone disrespects you. He does not stay quiet when others speak poorly about you. And here is something important. Respect is not something you negotiate or beg for. You establish the standard from the very beginning. You decide what you will accept and what you will not. You reinforce it through actions, not just words. Saying you will not accept something means nothing if you remain when it happens. Many women make this mistake. They set boundaries on paper that collapse at the first test, then wonder why men do not honor them. But no one respects limits that you yourself do not uphold. If you say you will walk away when a line is crossed, and then you do not, you lose credibility. And in relationships, credibility is everything. Ask yourself sincerely, do your actions align with your words? Saying, I deserve respect is one thing. Living as though you truly believe it is another. Living with that belief means speaking up when something is wrong, stopping someone when they cross a line, and walking away when a man does not treat you as you deserve. Simple, yet so deeply difficult. I understand how hard it is to let go of someone you are drawn to, someone with whom you share a rare connection. But here is the truth. It is far more painful to stay with someone who does not value you than to leave someone who is not right for you. The pain of staying is slow. It wears you down piece by piece, hollowing out your self-worth and making you wonder if you truly deserve more. The pain of leaving is sharp but brief. It hurts in the moment, but what follows is freedom, clarity, and peace. And now we arrive at what I promised at the beginning, the sentence that, when a man genuinely means it, marks a significant emotional turning point. But first, understand the context. Men are generally less emotionally expressive than women. Many have been conditioned to conceal vulnerability and avoid appearing sentimental. That is why this moment carries so much meaning. When a man pushes past that barrier and says something that opens him emotionally, it matters deeply. I am not saying you should dissolve over every compliment or overlook poor behavior because of kind words, but certain statements reveal that a man is connecting with you on a profound level. One statement that is often overlooked is, "You make me want to be a better man." Listen carefully. When a man says this, when he admits that your presence inspires him to grow, to improve, to evolve, it is extraordinarily powerful. In that moment, he is giving you transformative significance in his life. Men do not say this casually. They do not say it to someone they are simply passing time with or view as a temporary distraction. They say it to the woman who challenges them, inspires them, and pushes them to be more than they were before. And that, my dear reader, is a clear sign that you hold a meaningful place in his emotional world. But be thoughtful. Here is the subtle distinction. Just because he says it does not automatically mean he is yours, or that you should cling to him as though he were the last man on earth. It means there is genuine interest and connection. But moving from that to a truly healthy, committed relationship requires far more actions, not words. This happens frequently. Some men use beautiful words to keep you emotionally anchored while they are still deciding whether they want something serious. They say what you need to hear, make you feel special. But when it comes time to take real responsibility, they pull back. And this is precisely where you must be discerning. Words without matching actions are simply poetry, not reality. So yes, be glad when a man says something meaningful, but remain attentive. Watch carefully to see whether his behavior aligns with his words. Other phrases are equally revealing. For example, when a man says, I have never met anyone quite like you. If he truly means it, it shows that you have broken the pattern for him. You do not fit into any of his previous categories. You have brought something new, authentic, and unexpected into his life. Men, even if you might not think so, often carry a mental image of their ideal partner. When you show up and disrupt that image with your intelligence, your authenticity, and your unique way of being, you stay in his thoughts. But again, context is everything. If he says it on a first date while attempting to move things along, it is likely just a rehearsed line. But if he says it after truly getting to know you, after genuine conversations, shared experiences, and seeing different sides of you, it carries real meaning. Another powerful phrase is, I trust you. It may sound simple, but trust is enormously significant to men. Emotionally, opening up does not come easily to them. They may have many friends, but genuine trust is rare. So when a man tells you he trusts you, he is granting you access to a very sacred space. He sees you as safe, as someone who will not use his vulnerability against him. In a man's inner world, that is immensely valuable. Of course, there is the phrase many women wait to hear, I like you or I love you. But here is the caution. These words have often lost their depth through overuse. Many people say them without truly feeling them because they believe they are supposed to at a certain stage. So do not focus solely on the words themselves, but on when he says them, how he says them, and above all, how he treats you on the days he does not say them. Love is not a constant high, an endless romantic intensity. Real love is shown on ordinary days, in small decisions, in moments of exhaustion, in choosing each other even when it is not easy or exciting. Another statement I find particularly revealing is, I want to meet your family, or I want you to meet mine. That is about integration. It is a step beyond the small private bubble of just the two of you into a larger world. Men do not casually bring family into passing relationships. If he invites you to meet his family, it shows he sees you as someone who could belong in his life. But do not leap to imagining a wedding simply because of a family dinner. Take it as a meaningful sign to be confirmed by many other signals showing you are heading in the same direction. A question I hear often is, how long does it take to know if a man is serious? There is no fixed answer. Some men know after 3 months. Others still remain uncertain after 2 years. But here is the key. You set your own timeline. You do not have to wait without end. You can clearly say, I want a serious, committed relationship. If you want the same, wonderful. If not, that is fine. But I will not wait indefinitely while you make up your mind. That is not pressure. That is clarity and self-respect. And now comes something that may sound harsh, but it is true. If a man genuinely wants something with you, he does not need years to figure it out. He does not need to find himself while you wait. That is simply an excuse. A mature man who knows what he wants moves forward when he meets a woman who truly captivates him. He may not propose after a month, but he leaves no uncertainty that he wants to build something with you. He brings you into his life, speaks about future plans, and demonstrates through his actions that he sees you as far more than a temporary choice. So if you have been with someone for months or even years who still cannot decide whether he wants something serious, let me tell you gently but honestly, he knows exactly what he wants. He simply does not want it with you. Perhaps he wants companionship, comfort, or convenience. But when it comes to a genuine relationship, he is looking elsewhere. And in the meantime, you are giving your time and heart to someone who is not truly selecting you. How much longer, my dear reader, will you settle for crumbs when you deserve the entire feast? And before you continue, if this resonates with you, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. This is more than advice. It is a step toward genuine transformation. The more women grasp this, the less they will settle for relationships that give them nothing. Now, let us shift direction. I want to show you how to become the kind of woman that truly worthwhile men desire. And I am not talking about changing who you are or pretending to be someone you are not. I mean refining and strengthening the finest parts of yourself. One thing is certain. You cannot control a man's choices. You cannot make him appreciate you or select you. But you can control who you are, how you show up, and the energy you carry. And trust me, that changes everything. Step 1. Work on your self-worth. And I do not mean the shallow kind built on likes and compliments. I mean a deep, inner sense of value. A woman with healthy self-worth does not need constant validation. She does not check her phone every 5 minutes waiting for a text. She does not search for meaning in silence. She knows her worth, whether he acknowledges it or not. That inner certainty is magnetic. It draws mature men and repels the immature ones, which is precisely what you want. How do you build that self-worth? Not overnight, and not with a couple of affirmations in front of a mirror. It grows through consistent self-care. Treat yourself well, speak to yourself with kindness, and place yourself as a priority. Your mind notices, step by step, and begins to genuinely believe that you are valuable. That is neuroplasticity in action. Your thoughts and behaviors literally reshape your brain. Each time you protect yourself, each time you hold a boundary, you reinforce self-respect. Step 2. Build your own life. Nothing fades a man's interest faster than a woman whose entire world revolves around him. If your happiness depends on whether he texts or calls, if it rests entirely on his attention, you become predictable and, forgive my honesty, a little uninteresting. Men are naturally drawn to women who have their own lives, passions, goals, friendships, and aspirations. It demonstrates that you are a whole person, not someone waiting for another half to complete you. And here is something that may surprise you. When you focus on your own life and are deeply engaged in becoming the best version of yourself, you automatically become more appealing. Not because you are playing hard to get, but simply because your time and energy are precious, and honestly, you have better things to do than chase someone. The third point is to learn to communicate effectively. This is essential. Many women feel frustrated that men do not understand what they need.